Hello, this is Roman Budek. I'll be demonstrating how to run the packet error rate test on NXP wireless devices. The demo I'm going to use is the QN9080 boards, although it'll work with the QN9090, K32W, any of our wireless boards. They're all made to work the same for doing any kind of connectivity testing. The two boards I'll use are here. This one will be the receiver. This one will be the transmitter. I can even mix and match different boards just to see how they work. I have a USB hub I'll be plugging the devices into and out of so that it's easier for you to see on the camera exactly what's happening as I plug and unplug. The software that I'm going to flash program into these is called in the SDK. It is the wireless examples and connectivity test BM. So bare metal is the one that I'm going to use. And I'm going to go ahead and flash the boards. I'm going to plug on the ISP jumper. Normally, you don't necessarily need it, but it might be in some kind of sleep mode. And we don't know what state it's in, so it's just best to make sure to plug in the ISP jumper. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the board. And the first thing I'm going to do is I will see that a COM port gets assigned and my flash programmer will show up as well. So J-Link port COM8. So this board will be COM8. That'll be my receiver board so that I know that. Now I want to go ahead and flash the software. Easy way to go over this debug button, hold down the left shift, which it tells you press shift to force it. So I'm going to hold left shift and hit the left mouse button. It'll search for a new debugger to program. The same serial port here that's used for programming will be used for a serial port for debugging as well. It found only one J-Link. If I plugged in both boards at once, it would find two of them. So I will go ahead and select that one. Nothing to build, no more errors, and it should go ahead and start flashing the software. And we can see over here it started executing. It's ready to run. I'm going to be running it in run mode. I'm not going to be debugging. So what I'm going to do is clean up the debugger, stop it, and kill all the active components. I will unplug this programming jumper, and I'm going to move it to the second board. Unplug this board, and I will see my US COM port disappear on my device manager. Yep, so it's gone. So that was COM8. Plug in my new board. I think that one shows up as COM9. So that is in fact COM9. Want to go ahead and program it. Again, the trick, hold down the shift and do the left program. Program it. If the software was programmed, which it was previously, when I tried the example, I don't necessarily have to hold shift and I wouldn't have to program it, but I'm showing you from scratch how to do it. Now the serial number I could have written down on the board and I would know which board is which, but I just prefer to flash program one at a time. Nothing to build, of course. It flashed and started executing. I'm going to go ahead and kill the debugger again because I'm going to be running both of them in real time. I'm going to pull the ISP programming jumper off, not to lose it. I'll plug it onto one pin and hang it off the edge. So I have set up two serial ports. We mentioned COM9 is what I'll be using as my transmit. COM8 will be the one that'll be for receive mode. I will go ahead and plug in both. And I should see COM8 and COM9. You can use TerraTerm or PuTTY or both. I'll just allow it easier to see both screens at the same time. I'll use TerraTerminal for one and PuTTY for the other. So here now I see COM8 and COM9. This one was set up for serial port. They're both set up the same way. This one's COM8 115.200. And if I go back here and I want to reset the board just so I can see the logo show up. and I see the NXP logo show up. Going to go ahead and do the same on the other terminal, which is COM9. And this, I think I right click on it to see restart session. And this one's COM9, same settings, 115K2, just a different serial port. Now I have a logo on both. I'm on this board. I will go ahead and hit return on that. The tricky part is that this one, they both default to receive. So you'll see I'll go here, this one. You can see it says mode RX and mode RX for both of them. The second one I have to change to transmit. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the little lowercase t as it tells me up here. And when I do that, I don't see much change. It just flickered, but now I see mode transmit. And I'm going to run packet error rate test on both of them. So I will hit 2 on this one. And I'm going to send 25 packets, so I'll hit 1. But in the meantime, I'm going to get receiver set up. So I'm going to go back here. The default is receiver, but if I hit lowercase r, it would go into receive mode. So I'm going ahead and do the packet error rate test 2. So I'm running packet error rate test on both. And for receiving, I'm going to go channel 1, power mode, payload, and all that. And just going to use start and stop with the space bar. So I can start it here with the space bar. It's waiting. Go back here, and I'm going to send 25 packets. So I'll hit 1. And how many milliseconds? I don't know. I'll put 100 milliseconds. And we could see that it successfully transmitted the packets. On my receive side, it came back and told me what the packet error rate test was, packet error rate at minus 29 dBm, how many packets. I could easily adjust different channels then. I could adjust to do different power levels in those. Let's see if I should be able to switch around the functionality. So now this is saying mode TX. So I'm going to hit a lowercase r on this one. Go back on this one and hit enter to go back to the main menu, hit T for transmitting, and go back to the receive one here, receive, power, transmit. And I want to do the packet error rate test. I would do the start stop packet error rate test receive mode. Hit the space bar here. I'm going to do the same thing, hit transmit, and this time let's try 50 milliseconds delay between them all. It sends it, and the packet error rate received 25 out of 25. I could go and put my finger on the antenna here and watch the packet error rate change because obviously I'm dampening the signal, but that's pretty much how you run it and switch the functionalities between the two. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.